How's it going, everybody? This is Derek Quick with Financial Fortune. Today, we're going to be talking about the big uranium deal that went down in Canada in the basin between two uranium stocks, public listed stocks, and one private listed company. And I'm also going to be talking about the uranium market. There was some fake news that was put out about a reactor in China that had a big sell-off for uranium. And then overall, the stock market is looking a little choppy. There's some big inflation numbers. I'll talk about that a little bit in this video, but the main thing is the big deal that went down. I'm gonna give you my take for UEX. I made a video before on UEX, so go check out that video first. It's gonna explain where I saw this deal going, and it actually is very similar. First, hit that like and subscribe button below, and we're gonna jump right into this. So right now, today, Denison is up 5 or 6%, and UEX is down 5 or 6%. Now, this deal is not closed yet. Now, what happened was UEX basically put in a bid for this private company, JCU, 100 million pounds of uranium. It's amazing, such a good discount. And then Denison came in, made a bid. Technically, they weren't open for bids, but they did exactly what I thought would happen. I knew JCU would give the deal to UEX because they had already voted on it, the majority of shareholders. But I said that it would be smart if UEX sold some, or, you know, depending on whatever they wanted to do, sold something to Denison. Denison wanted Wheeler River, you know, it was 10%. It would be smart because, you know, you don't want to burn bridges in some ways, but also, you know, they're a junior, you know, UEX, and working with, you know, Cameco and Urano, this is pretty good, like having these tier 1 deposits. Now, they made a deal with Denison and said, we'll give you 50% of everything. But Denison also said, hey, we'll loan you the money interest-free for 3 months to get this deal closed. Now, the deal is supposed to still be voted to 29 shareholders the 18th, but I believe it's August. From what I've seen, August 3rd is when it's supposed to be extended to. So it's still subject to approval. But we're going to see how this goes because, like I said, a lot of people have been saying that they're going to sell out of UEX and go into Denison. That's fine. If you want to do that, I'm not going to do that. I believe the UEX is more undervalued than Denison. You know, just look at the market cap, about, I think this is in Canadian, so it's about 199 million. And then Denison's about 1.2 billion. This is coming up 1.4, but I think it's about 1.2 billion US. So, I mean, the market cap's smaller. I like the way UEX trades better. Denison had 200 million record volume in February for 2 days. It led the whole market, and the stock actually went back under $1 within, you know, a shorter period of time. So, you know, you got a lot of people trading this. I don't necessarily like that in a stock. I think it can cause issues, especially later on down the road. But as far as the deal, there's been today, both companies are both Red Cloud and Sprott both gave it a buy rating, but they lowered it. So this is very odd, and I'll tell you exactly why. So Red Cloud said that they lowered it 10 cents to 70 cents. This is Canadian, by the way, but it's a buy. And then Sprott lowered theirs from $1.10 to 85 cents Canadian. Now here's the deal. These are just analysts, right? Now analysts, they, to me, are mostly trailing indicators of where the stock has been. You know, these ratings that they give them, these buy ratings, and they have a price target. It's not really, to me, they're not always very accurate. It's being a trailing indicator, it's not a leading indicator to me. So the reason why a lot of these companies like Red Cloud, so Anfield, I think, paid $500,000 to Red Cloud to promote them. Now this does bring, you know, shareholders, you know, possibly to invest in these companies, and, you know, private placements. It does help, but they get paid. Okay. Now, if you look at analysts in the uranium sector, there's not many. Now, Sprott, another thing is they're helping, you know, on UEX's side here, they do own 1% of, I believe, the company, about 1%. Now, the thing is, these companies finance. They want to finance this deal and get paid to help finance the deal. So, of course, they're going to lower it. Now, they raised the same, it's pretty much a 50-50 deal. Now, they raised Denison's price targets, you know, a lot higher, especially compared to the market cap. So I thought that was a little weird. So just remember that these analysts, these ratings, they really mean nothing. Honestly, like, yeah, people might look at them and say, oh, that's great. But it's kind of flawed in my opinion. They're getting paid to say this. Just as I, as a YouTuber on here, if I interview a CEO, I'm not going to take any money for that because I feel like that, even though my time is valuable, so is the CEO's. If he's going to come here on my channel and talk about it, it's a both, it's both, if they're going to come here and give me his time, then I'm going to, his or her time, I'm going to give them my time and I'm not going to charge for it. Every other YouTuber I pretty much know, especially trading, covering uranium, they're going to charge these CEOs. So to me, it kind of pulls you out of the game. Now here's the deal. I'm a trader. I'm a full-time trader. I've been doing this for 15 years. I do YouTube for fun. Recently, I deleted my Twitter the other day. It's just getting to, we're in a bull market now, for uranium. And I'm not going to be putting out all this information, out there 24/7 for free. I'm not going to charge anything. I'm not going to charge, for subscriptions, and these things. I do have a Discord. If you want to have, be a part of my Discord and have the chance to ask me questions, you can do that. It's not open because of spam. You get so much spam, like 1,000 people come in and, you never know who's going to be in there. And I want to build a tight knit group of investors. I already have. And, I just do these YouTube videos. I don't get paid to do them. This isn't really making me money. Like I said, just trading in stocks, I probably make more in one stock trading it, swing trading it than I would, a year in YouTube. So, I don't pump out videos. I could probably do that if I really wanted to, if I wanted to get these numbers up on YouTube, but that's not the thing here. I love uranium. I love investing. And this deal to me, there are some things that I do want you to look at. I'm looking at, like I said, it was a little shady that they dropped it, yet they're giving Denison a little higher, buy ratings. Investors could be moving over there and somewhat, but what I see happening, you got to remember this. CEOs of these companies, they don't always want their stock to continue running a lot of times. Because if you look at a lot of the uranium stocks, a lot of the owners of the stock are not management. So management doesn't own a big part of the, the float. Like they're very small sometimes no skin in the game. So, if you look at it here, shareholders here, the biggest one's Cameco. Then we got Global X ETF. And then right here, number 3, about 8 Exchange Traded Concepts LLC. And then my buddy Lewis Morgan, he's right around here. So he's still bullish as well. He's in a lot of uranium companies. He's top 20. He's very bullish on it. We talk every day about it. Now, we're still bullish on this, but there are some things we want to look at. Overall, I was going to show you the market here. The market was very, very choppy, very red. End of day, some of the bigger stocks kind of started to come up. Tesla, Amazon, Apple, they closed green. So it really kind of helped the market lift, but the market's looking a little choppy. If we're talking about the uranium sector, yes, we're in a bull market, but we still have to trade in the market, the overall market. So if things start to go down, people will sell. Now we also had another crazy thing happen in China. There was fake news that was put out by CNN that said that there was a reactor leak, and they made it seem like it was another Fukushima, which it wasn't. This is a newer reactor. There was no global catastrophe going on. It wasn't that they couldn't cool the reactors or anything. These things happen, and these rods sometimes get a leak, and they fix it. It's brand new, pretty much brand new. I think 2019. But my point is, a lot of people, and this was one reason I deleted my Twitter, a lot of people on Twitter were fomenting. I'm talking about 10, 20, 30 people that I'd seen regularly post that were bullish, that were lying about stuff, trying to get people to sell. And you know what? To me, that's if you're just doing that, if you're fomenting out there and you're putting out all this false info, on uranium, and it's like, people were saying like, oh yeah, it's going to be another Fukushima. And so basically I was like, I'm done with this. People wanted to clown. People are trying to create memes of the uranium sector right now when it's still just getting started. It's not smart to do. This isn't AMC. This isn't GameStop. Those stocks, they're not going to last forever. The gains that they have, they're going to crash more than likely. They're very manipulated. We know from the short side. So all that stuff, I just don't want to see it anymore. I'm a professional trader. I do this, for a living. So I don't need to give out also my info. I'm not going to give out everything I know. There, even in my Discord, I'm not going to give out 100% everything I know. It would just take too long to even talk about. But with this deal, know that management doesn't always want their stock to run. And why I say that is because sometimes you look at management, they don't have a lot of skin in the game. Here we go. We see another thing. Denison, it's almost about the same. You have a big shareholder here, and then you have Global X, about the same, exchange traded concepts. And then management, they're not obviously in a bigger market cap. They're not going to be up here, but I think, I think their CEO has like about 1 million shares. And there's a difference. UEX CEO versus Denison's, management. I feel like UEX is they're more wholesome. They're geologists. I really do think they care about obviously what they do. Not saying Denison doesn't, but their background's a little different. I think, they're kind of like looking at this from a different aspect. So UEX, I think they wanted to have a partner in this, and it's smart. You don't have to dilute shareholders if you do it with a partner. If they would have to dilute, even if they would have got the good deal to get these things going, they would have had 10% of Wheeler River. So then, if Denison got that going, they'd have to, raise money to get 10% to pay for 10% of that. So, that's a lot of money. So this isn't a bad thing that they're with Denison, but Denison giving them a interest-free loan for 3 months to get the deal done, that's fine. But after that, it's like 4%. That's where it gets a little shady. And it also says as long as UEX has 50% of the shares, then they're in control of the assets, JCU. So they're in control. Now, what I have a feeling that could happen is I think there are going to be some people shorting UEX. And it could be people from Denison. It could be people that are invested in UEX that want to get this down so they can possibly, if there is a private placement in the future, get warrants, get because they see how much this company is going to be worth when uranium runs. I mean, come on, 50 million pounds, added to their already close to 100 million pounds. I mean, it's a junior uranium stock. Like it's phenomenal still. Now, they have 3 of the 6 tier 1 deposits and 3 of the 4 tier 2 deposits. So UEX now they'll have 12 projects there in Canada. They'll have 5% stake in Wheeler River that Denison has. And it's a 15% interest in Cameco's Millennium project, 22.4% interest in Orano's Canada's Kigavik project, and then 82.7% interest in their own Christie Lake project. So they actually have more now. So these are great deposits. Tier 1, like I said, I think that there's stuff you need to look into. That's what I'm looking into as an investor. I do see this possibly overall market pulling down the uranium market if things continue to happen. Fake news is put out there. A lot of new investors, as you see in this chart, we've went up a lot. This is 1 year. It went up a lot in the past few months in some of these stocks. Now, a lot of uranium stocks have been down the past days, so it's not just UEX that was down today. Other ones, jumping down. Yesterday, we had some big drops, okay? So the uranium sector, I'm still bullish. I believe UEX could continue to drop. I believe that they're going to, if they're smart, this is what happened. UEX needs to get proper financing. And I'm not talking about they need to get someone, an investor that has deep pockets that will loan them this similar to what Denison, actually less than what Denison is wanting to loan them this for after the deal's done. Because I have a feeling Denison it's business, right? Denison wants to take full control of this. So basically, if UEX defaults or something on their loan, they could take this deal over. And I think that's what they're going to try to do. And a lot of people are like bearish on UEX now because they're like, oh, they got screwed by Denison. I don't think they necessarily got screwed, but believe me, there are, people see where UEX, people like it better because it's a smaller market cap. There's more upside, right? There's more people that are going to sell when Denison goes up than UEX, right? It's a smaller market cap. So if you can finance this, it's way smarter than, say, putting that same money into Denison, in my opinion. If I finance this, I would give UEX the money if I had that much. I would do the deal. You know, I see that's how bullish I am. So I haven't left the stock. I initially bought this stock last year at 13 cents. So I've been covering, you know, uranium since last year at the bottom. You know, I'm very bullish on uranium. Will we have a drop in uranium prices like we saw yesterday with this fake news? Yes, probably likely. That's uranium. It's going to go up and down. One reason I deleted my Twitter is because I might also be starting to swing uranium stocks and maybe day trade them, you know, and within my Discord, I will put out and maybe even go live in there when I'm doing stuff like that. It's how I do. It's how I trade. You know, when the bull market really starts going and things are volatile, I might do that. As of right now, I bought low and, you know, I don't get worried about 5% drops, you know. These are the gains from last year, okay? I mean, come on. Some of these are up, you know, over 1,000%. So, you know, when you have a 5, 6, even 8% down day, like, you know, Deep Yellow had, it's nothing bad. You know, that's just uranium, you know, and it's the sky's not falling when that happens. You know, look, UEX is actually doing better than Denison. Okay. They're up 620%. So, you know, a drop of 5%, who cares, you know, in the short run. In the long run, you know, both stocks are going to do fine. I've bought more uranium stocks, including UEX in, you know, the past month, 2 months, 3 months. So, I am 50% cash. So, I am looking for deals in the market when things in the market start to go down with the overall market. You know, the overall market, like we said here, it's getting kind of crazy. 13% interest is what people are saying. If you go by the old numbers, government saying 5%, then they're going to say 2023. That's the latest or the earliest that they're going to raise interest rates. So I'm not buying it. I'm really not buying it. Last time that happened, 2 months later, boom, market drop. So market crash. Yeah, let me know below. What do you think about the deal? Do you think it's a bad thing? You know, I honestly, like I said, I think it's hit or miss now. It's still up on management. It did what I thought it would do. The deal would still go through. Denison wasn't going to get the deal alone, but they did what I said. I was like, they should sell some to it. Maybe they looked at it. And like I said, I don't have a Twitter anymore. You never know who's watching you. You know, I was seeing capital fund managers following me on Twitter, you know, people looking at my LinkedIn. I can see who looks on there. A lot of people, you'd be surprised who is looking on there. A lot of people, heads of these companies and heads of the financing companies that I just talked about will be looking, you know, they'll look into what people are saying. You know, I'm not going to say all this volume of the coverage was from me, but maybe it was. Maybe I was buying it all up. You never know. I'm not going to give everything out. But it's bullish. If you like uranium and you're bullish, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to join me, there's a link in the description below for the Discord. And like I said, I'm not going to be much on social media anymore. I will be posting more YouTube videos. I enjoyed this. And you know, the uranium bull market's here. Let's see if Sprott is actually going to raise the spot price. Sprott. So that's the next big catalyst we have. And stay alert.